we're going into the finals. And
Oh, hey, we're going to Ribbon Ring.
yeah,
I haven't seen this stage in a while. Just crank up the music to 11 and enjoy the nice concert in the background.
yeah, and we'll also see a switch here from Raffa, who was playing Kid Cobra earlier, going into the Springman and the Hydra, which he doesn't play with a lot, but I think he actually picked this to counter Gore's kind of tower play, getting the vertical angle there.
I mean, this is like the pure definition of arms, right? You got three gloves coming at each other, all just basic toasters. I love it.
Yeah.
Hydra being a great arm to use against the likes of Helix.
And I don't know if he can get in under those like the rhythm spams that Gore have there. It's looking good, but he has to get close. You see here, he has troubles even getting close to him. Oh my God! Oh yeah, there we see Gore breaking that arm and just going in for the almost the kill. Oh well, there it is. Mind me. I think. Raffa is coming into this. Oh, I just noticed that the names are wrong. Raffa is coming into this thinking that he is going to play the game as it should, but when he's facing Gore, he has to think differently. Alright.
Yeah, when you're playing against the likes of Helix, like he's able to just swap his moves around constantly. He can swift left and right while holding still. And he can be a very evasive creature to try to attack a bit. We see when Gore does dances like that. Like that's kind of his way of just being able to evade attacks as well. Not only is it a taunt,
Yeah. No, definitely. I think it's kind of his way to just getting into the rhythm of dodging things. Now Raffa switched to the Tribal, which is not a bad choice either, but oh my God, yeah, we still see this kind of onslaught from Gore.
Catching the jumps. I mean, Gore's playing super smart there. He has him in the corner, just constantly throwing out toasters, has such little cooldown on the swings, he's able to just apply tons of pressure against him on that wall. One swing away from taking away game number one. Raffa needs something to work here. He's got the rush almost on deck. It's almost there. Landing a hit. If he manages to land one more tri-bolt hit, but isn't able to get it, Gore swinging that left hook in strong. Close out game number one here in Grand Finals.
Yeah, and now he is only 2 games away from taking that $240. I think this is kind of it's so interesting that we can see even at this kind of high level of arms, there's still the tiny amounts of differences that makes for such a like huge difference or gap between the players. Like we saw Raffa kind of 3-0ing Meow here, and now going on to Gore, and it's just a running into a wall basically, because the mind games are just too strong for Gore, and he's able to read him so well. He was doing fantastic grabs there earlier as well. So I'm not sure how Raffa is going to be able to get back into this basically. Maybe that energy boost that he got wasn't enough.
Yeah, like you said, Gore's just really good at just punishing his opponent. If he catches Raffa swinging anything whatsoever, he's at the ready for punishing, almost making his opponent fear pushing any buttons. Like he makes him afraid to push rush. He makes him afraid to throw out a punch whatsoever. So if you can't do anything, then what do you do?
Yeah, and I think actually a lot of the cases I've been talking to other players in the community, which is when they go up against Gore, which has become kind of this like name in the community where it's just like, oh shit, I'm up against Gore. It actually gets into your head, and even if it doesn't like completely turn it around, just knowing that you're up against Gore changes a lot of things for a lot of players, because they suddenly think, oh, now I have to play differently, and then that's where you've already lost, because you completely left your game plan from the beginning. As Scrims was saying in the chat, to to kill a Helix, you must think like a Helix. I don't know what goes on in the mind of that goop, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, let's see which the ramen bowl is up next. So that's also an interesting pick.
Got some noodles ready for us.
Yeah, and as we said, a lot of these maps being legal since this kind of tournament was made several months ago, so it has a bit of an outdated stage list, but makes for some interesting games.
Yeah, being such a brand new game, like even though Arms has been out for a while, it's still in its infancy because it's been out for like what 6 months now.
Yeah.
It's state the meta is going to evolve incredibly fast as well as rule sets
Mm.
because it's still such a brand new thing. So
Mm.
obviously, if you make a rule set 2 months in advance, it might not
Yeah.
translate as well, but that's okay because we've seen stages on Ramen Bowl. We
Mm.
like Ramen Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Raffa, like right off the bat, Raffa can immediately close the distance
Mm.
by just dashing in as Springman, which he is immediately doing right off the bat. Now
Mm.
this is actually really good for Raffa because if he chills center stage, if Gore tries to like hover with his vertical height, he's able to attack like his base because
Yeah.
he's swinging upwards.
Yeah, and I also kind of noted now that Raffa switched into a Kablammer. I'm wondering if he got kind of inspired by Meow's plays earlier here. Meow has actually been facing Gore in a final, I think it was a month ago or so, which it was really close. So maybe that's something that he took in mind. Gore actually also changing to the nades, which works fantastically against Springman's deflect and the speed. Oh, the speed.
And again, once Gore creates distance, he loves just chilling back, throwing out those punches, trying to build up rush, but Raffa's right in his face.
Oh.
That was super smart from Raffa, able to throw out the Kablammer to just apply some explosion pressure against Gore, causing him to try to dash away from it, baiting it out by using rush. Raffa's one swing away from taking home this round. Managed to connect a swing, and we finally have a point on the board. We have ourselves a fight, possibly.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I think that the bow was actually working against Raffa there because he only got 200-ish of damage on that rush. He would probably gotten like 300 and taken that round, but he managed to get it in the end. But that was very like a close call because, as we saw, Gore, who took out Vertical Age, when he gets like the rush advantage back in his favor, he can just end the round really quickly. So. Props to Raffa for actually managing to get that anyways.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely putting up a bigger fight here. Now you'll notice that Gore's using doubled nades. That's actually a very good tool against the likes of Springman because if he tries to, counter it out with his dash, it can actually trigger the explosion and he still gets hit by it, which is why he opts to go for like the fast explosion arms.
Yeah, definitely. It's been working so-so now, I think, because some of the times that Raffa is, as you saw there, that the explosions are actually hitting Gore as well, but Gore jumping and using the rush in the last very second.
I respect the decision from Raffa. He was trying to bait out the jump, which he did correctly. He used rush to try to punish it, but then Gore activated his rush, had better distance. This could be really big for Raffa. He's just one swing away, throwing out the punches left and right. You see Gore trying to swing away, gets the Kablammer swing in and takes away game number 2 from Gore, 1-1.
Whoa, okay. This might be something anyways. This is interesting.
I felt like the counter pick worked.
It worked, definitely. I'm impressed. I know that Raffa is kind of known in the EU community as one of those Kid Cobras which are like extremely well with the setup that he has with the Popper and Megaton. So it's very interesting and impressive for me to see him changing up mains in the finals of a tournament where he can win $240 and still manage to take a match here. Yes, we're gonna go back to the stage striking here now, slowing things down a bit. But if Raffa takes 2 more games here, he will be able to reset, and we're gonna go into another grand final. But Gore only needs to win 2 more games, and then the cash is his.
And I guarantee you, Gore's probably going to be banning Ramen Bowl in his picks from now on because I felt like that was just an optimal stage pick against the likes of Helix. Like I said, Raffa was abusing being center stage, swinging upwards, so he was able to punish Helix's landing, which is really difficult to punish on an even playing field when you're just like standing on the same grounds,
Yeah, and I'm wondering like, because now we're going into that kind of stage of the meta where it's like you're worrying about so many things, because if he starts banning Ramen Bowl, then maybe they'll go back into Spring Stadium where he didn't want to be in the first place. So it's like the ring around the rosy where it's just like, what am I supposed to worry about? Because there's always something new behind every corner. I'm looking here at the chat and seeing, I think they're still doing the stage striking. And
So like Raffa just bans one stage and Gore picks one, right?
yes, that's how it should work, but I'm going to, yes, that's what it is, and it's going to be Sky Arena.
Sky Arena, what a stage. Now this is going to be great for Gore because the second he pushes Raffa into those corners, like he's going to be so trapped. Gore's already amazing at just pocketing players, opponents into those little corners. That Sky Arena just like enhances it even more because once you get knocked off that middle stage, you have so much trouble just getting out of there because you have to commit to a jump. And the second you commit to a jump, it's over.
Yes, and yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see who can get the other one into the corner here as well and be the one on top of the main stage. Gore is ready now, and I think Raffa might be soon.
All right, let's get it. Springman versus Helix yet again.
All right.
All right, here we go. Going straight on to Sky Arena. The two contenders both rocking the toasters in the beginning. No, it looks like Raffa's going to be switching to the Kablammer on the right side. This is going to be really good for him because once again, Kablammer, great tool for trying to just punish Gore's landing. Again, the explosion side effects. This is what I was talking about. Gore has him pocketed into those corners. It's going to be really tough to get out. I like how he threw the grab to the right side of Raffa, expecting him to try to dash over there. In case he opted to go for the dash, he'd be caught by it completely.
Definitely. Raffa is also sticking with his Kablammer here, and I'm really respecting that choice. It takes a lot. Oh wow. Okay, this is really interesting. This is one of the issues when you switch arms like this during a set, is that if you're not used to how the arm works, then you'll get caught by the punches like Gore did here with the rush, because his toasters are just too damn fast. Like he just gets in there and destroys Raffa's dreams, at least for one round.
And you know Gore's looking at that title belt in the background after Raffa just kind of crumbles to the ground. You know it's within his reach, within his grasp. Just one round away from going to a final game for him. Here he goes again, throwing out the double toasters against Raffa. Raffa swinging out. He's in that corner again, but he got the little bit of a knockback, giving him some distance to jump back onto the stage. And now he's pushing Gore back constantly. Now he's just trading the hits in his favor. When you have a health lead, it's okay to go for those traded hits. Rush is almost built for both opponents. Raffa has one, waiting for that jump. Again, or just, go for the Kablammer. Gore's just trying to get out of there, gets back on the center stage, but he's going for a lot of jumps. Again, trying to punish the jump, landing, and he does only landing a meager 80 damage. He's at less than 25% health. Good stuff from Gore, giving himself some breathing room. Goes for the grab. You see him trying to go for that dash to just counteract it. Just wasn't enough. Again, Gore trying to guess he's going to go left with that grab. Lands a rush. Puts him into the comeback kid factor state. Here we go. His arms are permanently charged. This could be big. Oh, he's one swing away. Raffa's so close from putting up another fight, but Gore manages to take it away from him, taking him to possibly a final game. He's up 2-1 here in the grand final set.
Yeah, and I think we can clearly see how how the stage picks are working in the favor of the one picking, basically. I think that Gore, with his kind of play style and the towering mode that he has, if a player is put into those kind of trenches or the corners there, it's not a lot that you can do when you're looking up to the grey goo tower that is Gore. So it's going to take, I think Raffa really needs to think about his next pick here for a map, not only, and if he's also going to continue as a Springman, because now he must be questioning himself and also like what he's supposed to do. Like he's one game away from losing this now, so this is kind of his last chance, or might be one of his last chances here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going over stages again. It looks like the stage today is going to be, for the final game, Snake Park, ladies and gentlemen. Snake Park seems to be the stage that's coming out in full force. Raffa has been known to go to this stage a lot of the times whenever he's feeling desperate. See, the good thing about that stage is you're able to ride those Beyblades to victory, right? You just stay on those Beyblades, you just throw out some random arms, shenanigans happens, and then a victor kind of comes out.
Yeah, I sincerely hope not that we're ever going to see that stage again. We actually had a tournament that we played on Snake Park, and it was the most hilarious thing ever because everyone just kind of gave up on being serious, and we saw some really interesting gameplay. But for this time and this amount of money, let's not. um, but something actually kind of like a party poop now, but I've been kind of dying to see more tournament gameplay on the temple grounds, which has been you know, the new stage that everyone has been talking about.
Dude, I saw that stage. It looks pretty legit.
Yeah, I think what people have been kind of mostly talking about is that they want to rather see it instead of Scrapyard.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you look at like the 5 stage list for people that like those minimal stages, I feel like it's a great substitution for Scrapyard. Also
Okay.
that music.
Yeah, definitely. And now we actually see, as we talked about with the stage picks, Raffa choosing to go back to the winning stage of the previous Ramen Bowl. Let's see if he can actually do the same magic again, take a 2-2 against Gore.
Now I'm kind of shocked Gore didn't ban the stage. Like you said, he probably just didn't want to go to a stage like Spring Stadium, because this is where Raffa got a W.
Yeah.
You know, abusing the low ground, trying to punish the landings again from Gore.
Yeah, this is, I think, this is really interesting because both the players are at least Gore in this case, is playing very kind of a bit more defensively. Now he's getting into the rhythm again, but in the beginning there, he was just kind of staying put, and you know, it might be getting affected that he lost on this stage. He's like, oh, I'm not invincible. But, well, now he's just kind of unleashing the beast now. I think he could have almost stayed here on perfect because he's going to take this first round really easily.
I felt like Gore was just insanely aggro that entire round. He was just jumping in front of his face constantly, which was completely 180 from what happened last time they were on Ramen Bowl. I think he figured it out, like, you know what? Take me to that stage again. I dare you. I'm just going to rock double toasters instead of going for the nades. And he's 1 round away from being your Don't Get Neopunch champion. Don't get hit.
Yeah, I think, oh wow, okay. That slight hesitation that I saw there in the first round, it's gone from Gore now. Raffa gets a 370 on that rush, but you should never underestimate Gore here, getting the 1-2 punch and has a rush available in a second. I think this is actually getting really close. No, okay.
Yeah,
Now
he's 1 combo away from getting this victory. Knocks the explosion away, 1 punch away.
Oh, there he goes.
He does it. Gore is your Don't Get Hit champion. $240 going to Gore's PayPal account.
Hopefully today. That was amazing. And congratulations to Gore and Raffa as well. This has been an amazing tournament.